How you guys doing? I'm back at it again. And this goes out to all these cats out here that's saying that, Dillian Whyte deserves his shot now and all this stuff. But I'm going to tell you this. Look, first of all, Dillian Whyte did it to himself. He never, not once, since losing to Anthony Joshua, put himself in position to where he can get the best outcome. He's been fighting to become a pay-per-view star in the UK instead of being the WBC star. See what I'm saying? You know, yeah, he's been vindicated by the UCAD and WBC put him back in the forefront, but not until 2021. And then you hear about Dillian Whyte talking about fighting Alexander Povetkin in March. So, that just goes to show you that, he's still hunting to be a pay-per-view star. If you want to be the man, you got to beat the man. If you want to be the man, you got to play like a man. And you're not playing like a man when you're fighting people to where you can't put nobody's words against themselves or put somebody in the bind. Putting somebody in the bind will be, doing the same thing that everybody else do when they trying to fight the champion. They fight the guys that are in front of them. They fight the guys that the champion fought to get the belt, and so on and so forth. So the best thing for, Dillian Whyte to do really is to fight Louis King Kong Ortiz and United Kingdom and make it some type of big event based off of Deontay Wilder. You asked for it, you got it, type of thing. Because there's no theme behind fighting Kubrat Pulev, and we all know matchroom boxing is all about themes and accolades and stuff like that. So it'd be best for you to fight Louis King Kong Ortiz in the United Kingdom, and like I said, do what you normally do. Spin off Ortiz's record and say that Deontay Wilder is a credible opponent and stuff like that, and by fighting Louis King Kong Ortiz, that would make Deontay Wilder a liar on his word. If Deontay Wilder happens to get rid of Fury and can't get the Anthony Joshua fight right after that, so if he beats up Deontay Wilder beats up Tyson Fury, and Dillian Whyte fights Louis King Kong Ortiz up over there in the UK under the matchroom banner and all that stuff, like, come on, which one's bigger? Dillian Whyte versus Povetkin, or Dillian Whyte or Ortiz in the United Kingdom with the spinoff? Because, like I said, there's no spinoff with Alexander P.E.D. motherfucker Povetkin. And Dillian Whyte's not talking about fighting any of the guys that ain't fighting anybody that are the mandatories for, IBF and WA. I'm not talking about Alexander Usyk. We know he just got there. But, your Pulevs, your Manuel Chars, and of the world that's just sitting around there ready for the tanking. I think Dillian Whyte can take care of these guys because they ain't been doing nothing. They ain't been fighting guys to keep themselves active in a certain type of way. So, and then you got everybody worried about the WBC. And Dillian Whyte's status, but nobody's talking about all these other sanctioning bodies that hasn't put Dillian Whyte back on the forefront, nor has made a statement yet. So, for all you guys over there in the UK that's mad at Deontay Wilder, mad at the WBC, mad at UCAD or mad at the VOD or whatever, what you guys need to be doing is talking to these sanctioning bodies. I don't hear nobody out there also saying to the WBC, why 2021? What is the reasoning behind putting Dillian Whyte in the back burner until 2021? I don't hear you guys asking that. I don't hear you guys demanding an explanation on that, but you hear me demanding a full explanation on why Dillian Whyte was let off the hook with UCAT. But, nonetheless, they deserve the right to be quiet and shut the fuck up and not tell little old me about any of that stuff. But that's how it is with boxing fans. Is we can't stick together for the benefit of the sport and the benefit of the fan, but people want to stick together for the benefit of some other boxers' pockets and saying that, well, Anthony Joshua's getting this. So if Wilder really wants to fight Anthony Joshua, he needs to step 30%. That's none of your fucking business. Because first of all, the splits ain't on a percentage when it comes to matchroom boxing. They're on flat fees. But going on to the whole thing of Dillian Whyte with all these sanctioned bodies. Question these other sanctioned bodies. Where's the statements? Why did you guys drop these guys? You got people out there saying that Dillian Whyte was dropped by the WBC quick, fast, and hurry. It wasn't quick, fast, and hurry. I believe it was about a week or so, and the WBC asked UCAT what's happening and stuff like that with Dillian Whyte. Can we have some of the information? And of course, UCAT said that it was confidential and all that stuff, but WBC ain't trying to hear that shit. Dillian Whyte signed up with a contract with the WBC, and the contract basically states that the rules and regulations and stuff like that. You must notify us when you pop in anywhere, and nonetheless, hence he gets dropped. But what about the glove situation with the WBC? Why isn't anybody talking about the glove situation? Was the glove situation a violation of the WBC policy? One of the WBC policies goes along into Deontay Wilder saying that he wants to kill a fighter in the ring. Same thing with the glove issue. Not only that it was against the rules, but guess what? It was against ethical rules. You didn't do something that you were supposed to do as a fighter, as a human being, notifying the other fighter that you were switching up the gloves at the last minute. No matter what the case, he still should have known exactly what those, because it allows both teams to know if those gloves are actually fucking approved. So they didn't do that. There's a lot of things going around here in boxing and stuff like that, but you got to take your bumps and bruises as they come, and stuff like that, and try to make the best out of everything. But at the same time what do you do as a fan? What I say as a fan is that you keep bringing it up, and eventually somebody might hear it. But not from little old me, but probably for somebody else that got, thousands of subscribers, 100,000s of subscribers, and stuff like that. Maybe they might hear it and might want to make a video of their own based off of what I got to say. Maybe they might take some notes, but, likely very slim. But, that's just the way boxing is. I don't understand why people is, pushing for and crying, this Dillian Whyte thing. You guys need to fall back. It's there's better things in boxing to look at. Wilder versus Dillian Whyte is not really a fight I'm trying to see. But, if Wilder takes care of the Fury, I won't really be mad at it. I mean, obviously, there's been a lot of fights that I didn't want to see that pop up that came out to be pretty good fights. So, you got to, like I said, you got to take it, your bumps and bruises, how they come and stuff like that. You get some good ones, you get a lot of bad ones. But that's just the way it is. I wonder what you guys got to say about out there in YouTube land and stuff like that when it comes to Dillian Whyte and UCAT and Dillian Whyte and the WBC and all that stuff, because it's a very interesting subject. It will happen again in my lifetime and stuff like that. But nonetheless, us as fight fans, what are you going to do about it? Really can't much do about it because you're not going to affect nothing and stuff like that to an extent. But also, you got people out there saying they're going to boycott the PBC or the WBC or whatever the case may be because of Dillian Whyte's situation. First of all, you boycotting the WBC, you boycotting the PBC is not going to do nothing. What I suggest you do is you get yourself and your band of cohorts to petition to the WBC to come out with an explanation for 2021. To get you and your cohorts to petition these other sanctioned bodies and some of your cohorts and stuff like that, and to these sanctioned bodies and say, hey, what's going on with Dillian Whyte up over there? Because, a lot can happen within a year's time. A lot can happen in boxing within 6 months' time. Somebody might get hurt. Somebody might go to jail. All kinds of things. So, you know, you got to think kind of critical with it. You know, having 20,000 subscribers and saying that you're going to boycott the PBC or WBC is not going to do nothing. Nobody asked you to fucking be here on YouTube making videos and talk about your beloved Anthony Joshua and Edward Hearn. Nobody asked you to be here, but since you're here collecting assets off of YouTube, I guess that gives you something within your fictitious mind to make you think that you have a little power, but you don't. You have the same amount of power as a dog on a leash in the backyard trying to bite somebody's ass. You have as much powers as my pinky toe when it comes to me trying to scratch my ass. You don't have none. This is not no fairy tale world and stuff like that. So maybe you might want to act like you ain't got none, or be like Anthony Joshua say and just be humble. And do what's right. And then, they got these cats out here saying, what the guy say? He says something really fucking stupid. He says something like, how did Tyson Fury become the mandatory in the WBC? He didn't fight in the eliminators and this and the third. And, well, maybe homeboy, you need to go and read the WBC rules. The WBC rules doesn't state that you have to fight in a eliminator to become the mandatory. It's a vote. The eliminator is a vote. Becoming the mandatory is a vote. Of fighting top 10 guys and other sanctioned bodies is a vote because it has to be deemed by the WBC as a credible opponent. If you're the champion, if you want to fight them in the WBC, so there's all types of tricky things with the WBC and all these other sanctioned bodies when it comes to their rules. You just have to read them and not come out here and put your foot in your mouth and sound really fucking dumb because you don't want to do the right thing and actually read. You just want to fire off on the hip, pulling shit out of your ass as it comes. But like Deontay Wilder, you don't have enough toilet paper. I don't have enough toilet paper for you. Procter & Gamble doesn't have enough toilet paper for you. Nobody has enough toilet paper for the amount of shit that you keep pulling out of your ass, but you keep doing it because your fans want to keep digesting this shit and whiffing the funk by way of their upper lip. But that's just the way it is in boxing. You got a lot of dum-dums that want some gum and maybe possibly want some of Anthony Joshua's cum. But nonetheless, that's some secondhand shit that they would get. And coming from yours truly, if you really want the first-hand shit, you get it from me. Now, shout outs to the LDBC and everybody stay sucker free.